Hey everybody, Jacob here with LP Woodworking and Restoration. Today I am bringing you a full-length video on how to make this simple fall decoration that doubles as storage. Let's get on with the video. First I'm going to start with taking some measurements. I'm doing 3 pumpkins, 11 by 5, 8 by 5, and 5 by 10. Next, I'll be doing some rough cuts with the circular saw. These are not going to be final dimension cuts. Okay, now that we have 4 of each rough cut with the circular saw, we're going to make sure all of these are exactly the same length. So I'm going to run this through the table saw, take a little bit off of each to make sure that they're all the same. Let's do it. Now on both of my previous videos, I did this method to start a flat edge on each side of my rough cuts. This would help me make sure that when I'm cutting the other side to dimension, that it is also flat. Now once I made sure that all of the cuts were the same length that I needed, I started taking more measurements to get down to that final dimension of building these pumpkins. So now, these are all starting to come together. And this is going to be a set of 3 different sized pumpkins. Obviously there's nothing holding them together. I was expecting that to fall over. But everything is looking good so far. And the idea is we have all of the sides, so let's build a bottom so these not only are decorations, but they can be used as cubbies. I ended up calling an audible in my plans and doing 45-degree miter joints on all of the sides so that they could fit together a little easier. So, what we're going to do for all the sides is make sure everything's sanded before we glue them up. Alrighty, with everything sanded down to 120, I focused on the insides with this sanding because we're gonna do a final sanding once everything's together. But besides the point, now what we're gonna do is glue these sides up. I'm using a little wood glue and some brad nails to keep everything together. Everything's glued up, all of the sides. I had to use a little bit of wood filler for this one because there was a little warping going on. I can put out a video on how to do the wood filler for boxes like this separately if you want it. But yeah, let's start making these bottoms. So the first step of making this bottom was milling down some 2x4s. My blade was not large enough to just cut straight through, so I had to run it through once and then flip it over and run it through again. And just like before, I'm making measurements and rough cutting them with the circular saw. Now, I just made a change of the blade for the circular saw, and I love the Diablo framing blades. They're obviously not sponsoring me because I'm a small channel, but I just had to put it out there. It is so much better than what I was given with the kit. And now I'm flattening everything out just like I did before. Now that I have everything milled up to where I want it, now it's time for the glue up. I'm making this one panel and it's going to hold all of the pumpkins. I'm making sure everything's where I want it and nice and tight, and also adding some support boards in the middle to make sure everything comes out flat. Now we sand. Just a helpful tip for anybody who's following along. Make sure you wipe down that excess glue from your panel, or you'll have to chisel it out or just sand excessively to get it off. Now that we got everything sanded down to where we want, I'm going to cut the bottom to its final dimension. And what I'm doing is setting these up to where I'd want them to be and leaving a little bit of a lip to just give it my own style, I guess. So, put the straight edge. And that is where I am going to cut it on the table saw. Perfect. I'm also making the cuts for the tops of the pumpkins. We got everything cut, sanded, and now we are ready to paint. For the panel, I'm just using some butcher block oil. Everything else is going to be painted, and I figured maybe keep the bottom natural. It might be a good look. And for the pumpkins themselves, the tops I'm using a sage green, and the pumpkins I'm doing 2 different oranges, and the larger one is going to be white. Now these are looking good. We have 2 coats of paint per pumpkin, and now to finish everything off and keep it looking nice, we're going to add a coat of polyurethane to everything. Everything is polyed up, ready to go. Now it's time to start putting all of the pieces together. For this, I'm just going to be using wood glue. Yeah, there's not much more to it. Let's finish up this project strong. Just using wood glue was a little bit time consuming, and as a novice woodworker, I'm always looking for helpful suggestions on making this a quicker and better experience. So, if you are a woodworker and have been woodworking for years, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know if there is a easier solution for this. And this is looking so good. Just sitting up on the counter, just like that. And has little cubbies for storage. We got some mail in there, and some sunglasses and keys in there. And I think this will be the home for this decoration. All right, let me know what you think. And if you make this yourself, I want to see some pictures. Have a good one, guys. If you made it to the finish line of this video, I appreciate you. And please, give me a like, give me a comment on what I did right and what I did wrong. And think about following me on X. I'm posting on there at least once a day. It's at LP Wood Resto. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.